Oh, be careful, Chad. It's a slippery spot.
How do you feel about Brad climbing the M?
I am totally embarrassed by the whole thing, and he moved here from Mississippi because he wanted to become a climber, and he thinks the M is a big deal, and it's really not.
So, Elizabeth, we're going to go right here. Then we're going to take a hard left, then a hard right, then a hard left, and then a hard right. And then we're going to take a hard left, and a hard right, hard left.
Are you sure we shouldn't just keep going left at this part?
Let me see. No, we take a hard right there.
How did you decide to attempt Mount Sentinel?
I've been training to climb the M since childhood. Yeah, once we got near the bottom of the M there, and the top was in sight, all I could think was pinnacle. I mean, I'm glad to be back on solid ground now, but I really miss it up there. Yeah, the Sentinel, the M, gets in your blood. That's more than just a mountain. Looks like a storm might be blowing in.
Is that a plume of smoke?
I think that's snow wisping off the top of the mountain. I don't know, man. Those winds are bad. Let's wait it out for a little while.
It could be dangerous.
Hey, guys, watch out for the wind up there. And be careful. I don't know.
We're just looking up.
These guys are fucking crazy. It's dangerous up there.
Be careful!
You ready?
I was looking through, you guys had a long list of an inventory, a checklist of stuff you were going to bring on the trip, and I noticed one thing, it seemed to be a little bit, it didn't seem to be, I guess, mountaineering food. I saw that there was some bacon in the pack. How did you guys decide to bring a pound of bacon?
I love bacon. And that was really my idea. I take full responsibility.
Have you, could you give us some of your climbing experiences when you started, some of the other major mountains you've climbed in your lifetime?
Yeah, I started climbing in Mississippi when I was a kid. You don't have this kind of elevation or wildlife or snow there, but it can get muddy. You ready? Set those ropes up for us. We got a late start. I think we can make it before dark.
I think we can do it.
Shouldn't have eaten that second batch of bacon, though.
You took kind of an unorthodox route up the mountain.
Actually, it seems unorthodox, but it's a pretty established route. Right there up the western face. There are other ways to get up to the top of the M, but we, given the winter conditions that we were in, we wanted to avoid a lot of trail busting. So that's where you get into trouble. So what we tried to do was take those switchbacks, right, and then left, up to the lower edge of the M. And then the more unconventional part of the ascent was the direct climb up the face of the M. That's what they call the death zone.
Base camp, come in. Yeah, just checking in for a website update. Weather looks like it's going to hold. We should make it to Camp 2, no problem, before nightfall. If it holds out the next day, looks like we got a summit bid in the morning. Check.
It looks pretty good down here, too. You should be fine. Any idiots, you have to win.
Really? Wow.
Since then, you're in upper air.
Wow.
how long did you train for the ascent?
Well, we've been training for the ascent for over a year now, and it's been very difficult. And I actually think it would have been simpler to train for a marathon.
Shelley said that you guys have been training for about a year, and that she said you really pushed her on the Stairmaster in the weight room and in the weight room. Do you think maybe you overdid it? Do you think you underdid it? Is there anything you wished you prepared more for?
No, I think I did the right thing. I mean, yeah, I might have been a little extreme, but ultimately, I'm the one who's responsible for bringing back everyone I take up that hill, for bringing them back alive.
How do you feel about losing the crampons? Did you guys almost decide to turn around then?
Yeah, it was my belief that we should turn around. I didn't think it was worth the risk. Even with crampons, it's a tough climb. Without them, I thought we could get into a, potentially life-threatening situation, and we could have. But the weather just happened to be exactly right. Shelley was pushing. She was pushing me. She's kind of a wildcat when it comes to climbing, and she just convinced me that we should go for it.
How did you get the idea to climb the M?
I've lived in Missoula for nearly 3 years now, and I spend all my time in the bars and coffee shops and hanging out at Home Depot, and I've never had the chance to see the city from that angle. I mean, it's just amazing that there's a mountain so close by like that. It really makes you think.
And how did the Sherpa do up there?
Not bad. He, I have to say that I got a little tired of seeing him smoking cigarettes and just peeing all over the place. But he did lay those ropes for us at the most crucial part of the climb. We had lost our crampons. I don't think we could have gotten up that M if he hadn't walked up there and laid the ropes for us.
How do you feel about missing the birth of your children, and how did she feel?
Well, it obviously wasn't an ideal situation, but there's a small window of time when you can safely climb this mountain, and we both felt like the trade-off was one that I just had to make. Otherwise I could have climbed the mountain, fallen down, gotten killed. My children wouldn't have a father at all.
I'm in base camp. Base camp, yeah, it's Brad and Shelley. We've lost our crampons, but Shelley has persuaded me that we can make it up the face of the M with the Sherpa. We've sent the Sherpa up to lay ropes for us. So just keep an eye on us. I don't know if you can see us from down there. All right, just let Shirley know that we're going for it. I have to do this.
a child, he spent as much time on the jungle gym as any other kid, and that was about the extent of his climbing.
Last time I climbed up to the L, and I live next to Jumbo. It's like my backyard. Almost lost my footing right there around the L, and there's a lot of talus around there. Someone had spelled out Cleo. I thought it said Leo. I totally spaced, slipped on the C, slid about 10 feet. There just happened to be this piece of this kind of driftwood log that I caught my leg on. You have to watch your step on these mountains with labels.
Were you ever in any danger?
It was treacherous, I'd say. There were some moments that were hard. I had some trouble with my equipment, especially the first day, and I almost lost a crampon going up the face of the M. It was tough, and yeah. Once we got to the M, actually, it was really slippery. It was very difficult to make the final ascent. I fell a few times, and I've got some bruises.
Anything particular happen up there? Was it more than you expected, less than you expected?
I guess it was about what I expected, which is really dangerous. We made it up. I climbed first with the up the ropes that our Sherpa had laid, and I got up pretty easily. I think it was a smooth climb. I'm sure you can see that from the tape. But at the top, once I was up there trying to help pull Shelley up, I took a little bit of a spill. It was hard, when you get yourself straining in one direction, trying to help a climber up. There's wind, there's slippery footing. Something's got to give. That mountain doesn't compromise.
That you left a scarf and a pair of shoes. What was that about?
Well, the shoes were my dad's. My dad is also a native of Mississippi, but he came out and climbed up to the M back in the 60s before the M was concrete. And those are the shoes he wore when he made the climb. He's a lawyer. You can probably tell from the shoes. The scarf was actually given to me by my wife. It's her red scarf, and she was pregnant at the time that we made the ascent, and she asked me to put up a red scarf for peace.
What was it like at the top?
It was incredible. It was better than I could have imagined. You could see the whole town, and there was this one moment when the clouds cleared and I got a glimpse of Stone Container at the edge of town. It was amazing.
What's next on your list?
I'd like to climb Jumbo. I think that'll be the next step.
Is that a more dangerous mountain than the M?
It's a little more rounded, but it does have the L, and I think it's pretty steep.
Yeah.
Plus, I hear there are some great views.
Yeah. The parking lot seemed a little empty when you eventually descended the mountain, and I was wondering how you felt about that. I know that it was tough coming down and not seeing. I guess your boyfriend was watching football.
It was really disappointing. I guess there was a Grizz game that day, and nobody was there, and I was pretty hurt.
He's really a nice kid, and I just wish he would stop all of this.